Paying attention to BTO's application rate is one of the smartest way to check your competition during a launch. It helps you to move past the guesswork and understand your actual statistical odds. In this video, I'm going to discuss what is the latest application rate in this BTO launch. But before that, for the benefit of the audience, maybe let me just give a quick refresher of what is application rate and how to actually read it. Now, application rate is a very simple formula. It's basically the number of applications received divided by public flat supply set aside for that particular category. So if the application rate is equal to 1, this means that the number of applicants perfectly matches the number of available flats. In theory, everybody should get a flat, assuming there's no drops out and eligibility failures. But then if the application rate is under 1.0, this means it is undersubscribed, which means that there are fewer applicants than the available units. As long as there's no unusual glitch or eligibility failures, then in theory, you should be able to select a flat. Now, what if the rate is above 1.0? This means that that town is oversubscribed, which means that there are more people than available units. For example, if the application rate is 3.0, that means there are at least 3 applicants fighting for every one flat. Now, with that in mind, let's look at the application rate as of today. Now, let's discuss the latest application rate as of today, starting from two-room flexi. So, this table is showing the total number of units versus the total amount of applicants. Red color is yesterday's number of applicants, and the blue one is today's number of total applicants for two-room flexi. So, the way that you read this is, for example, in Bukit Merah, there are 816 two-room flexi being offered. Yesterday, there was only 17 applicants, but as of today, there are more than 1,500 applicants already. This is total across seniors, singles, and also second-timer and first-timer families. Now, specifically for application rate for seniors, yesterday numbers are 0 lah because it was the opening day. Not many people applied yet. But as of today, as you can see, Ang Mo Kio is already at 0.7 as well as Sembawang. But then Bishan and Woodlands, interestingly, is already exceeding 1.0, which means technically it's already oversubscribed. Of course, the number will continue to change until the closure of this BTO sales period. Next up, we have the application rate for first-timer singles. And as you can see, currently Woodlands is the highest with 9.1. And then the lowest one right now is at Ang Mo Kio with 1.3. And then another town that you can consider if you haven't applied yet would be Sembawang with 1.7. If you're interested in Bishan or Bukit Merah, well, the application rate is already beyond 3. So that's a watch out. For first-timer families, because we're talking about two-room flexi, usually there's not many first-timer families interested to buy two-room flexi anyway. That's why, as you can see, the application rate tends to be on the lower end. Now, for second-timer families, as we can see here, Woodlands as of today is already at 0.9, and then the rest is still 0.1 and 0.2 for the other towns. That is for two-room flexi for second-timer families. Now, let's move on to three-room. So, this is the total supply and demand for three-room. As you can see right now, the town that is most popular for three-room is Bukit Merah. There's already 219 applicants so far. The runner-up is Woodlands with 178 applicants. For Sembawang as of today, the number of supply is still higher than the demand, but I'm sure that this number will continue to get updated. And next up, for three-room application rate for first-timer families, Woodlands is already at 1.2 today. Meanwhile, the other 3 towns, Ang Mo Kio, Bukit Merah, and Sembawang, is still under 1. For second-timer families, the number of allocated unit is very limited. Hence, you can see that the application rate becomes very high. Right now, Bukit Merah is the most popular with 7.5 and followed by Ang Mo Kio with 6.8. If you are second-timer families and flexible in terms of location, you might want to consider Sembawang because the application rate for 3-room for second-timer families is still at 2.1. Now, let's discuss the total supply and demand for 4-room. Bukit Merah, again, is also the most popular town for 4-room flats, followed by Bishan. This is quite expected. Now, there are 2 towns where the supply is still higher than the total demand, which is Ang Mo Kio and also Sembawang. In terms of application rate for first-timer families for 4-room flat, Woodlands now is the most popular with 2.1, and then Bishan and Bukit Merah is head-to-head with 1.3. Ang Mo Kio and Sembawang is still less than 1. For application rate for second-timer families for 4-room flat, right now Bukit Merah is already at 9. And then on second place, it's Woodlands with 6.4. If you want less competition, you can consider Sembawang or maybe even Ang Mo Kio. Now, let's look at the total supply and demand for 5-room and also 3-gen flats. There are only 2 towns offering this, which is Sembawang and Woodlands. Now, for Woodlands, as of today, the number of demand already surpasses the total supply. But for Sembawang, the total supply is still higher than the total demand. The application rate for first-timer families, as you can see, for Woodlands is already rounding to 1, while for Sembawang, it's still at 0.1. Meanwhile, for second-timer families who are interested in bigger flats, Woodlands application rate is already at 4.2, while Sembawang is at 1.3. For reference, here is the latest HDB application rate, and come back again tomorrow if you want to know the latest number. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye! To support my work, you can give a one-time tip by pressing the thanks button, pick the amount that you want, and click buy and send. Or you can also press the join button for exclusive contents and monthly membership. Your support means a lot to keep us independent. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye!